We finna jump straight into it. If y'all know, y'all know. Go get at me on all the socials. Feel me? It's gonna be right there. Link in the description. Pin comment, like always. You feel me? It's 10:47 p.m. Feel me? I'm just chilling. So I decided to react to this video. I ain't gonna keep yapping or whatever.
I ride for you, I lie for you, I commit a crime for you, risk my life for you, I can't wait for you.
12 people and later got arrested for it, and another one admitted to getting Tupac smoked. These are times rappers got arrested over interviews.
I'm not gonna lie, for that one, admitting that you got, he just won't, you feel me? Clout. People to see him. People to know who he is. Oh, he said, I don't know who that is. I ain't gonna lie.
We got to start off by talking about P. Diddy, because his name has been all over the news after the truth came out about the things that really happened during his infamous parties all those years ago. From keeping girls locked up against their will to even Weird Al's infamous parties all those years ago.
Hold up. Why do
the
like
truth
Leonardo?
came out about the things that really happened during his infamous parties all those years.
Bro, that's Leonardo. Oh, what? How am I now just seeing this?
From keeping girls locked up against their will to even weird allegations, it seems there was nothing that didn't happen at Diddy's coveted white parties. Because Diddy even hinted at some of the weird things. Because the first time Diddy some of the weird things that he's done in some of his past interviews. Because the first time Diddy slipped at saying how his parties really went down was in a personal interview he did for Entertainment Tonight back in 1999. In the interview, he even predicted his
Bro, it's 2025, 1999. That's 26 years ago. Because we are in July, late July. Look at this dude, bruh. Bruh, look at bruh. Bruh, no. Bro, look at this dude, bro. Look at that dude, bro. There's no guilt in his eyes. Look, you see this smirk? You see this evil millennial smirk? It's right there.
2024 arrest by saying that there was a lot of illegal stuff that happened at his parties and that he would probably end up getting arrested if he kept hosting them.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
He also said something incriminating a couple of years later during an interview with Conan O'Brien, because Conan asked Diddy what it took to throw the perfect party, but Diddy's response left everyone confused. Because he started things fine, letting Conan know things like needing good-looking people, liquor, all kinds of stuff.
A killer party. What's the ingredient? What do you do to make just an amazing killer party? Because mine, I put out the Cheese Whiz. I put on the Paula Anka. No one comes. Wrong move.
See, you're doing the wrong things.
Wrong thing. Okay.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women, of course.
Beautiful
All the people that's clapping been to the parties.
women.
Beautiful men for the ladies, of course.
They been there too.
But then he went on to say that the doors needed to be locked at all times for the girls to stay inside. And that's when Conan's expression immediately changed.
We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water. Don't leave.
Right.
Gotta
right.
keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just
Right.
check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat? You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
Depends on the way you look at it.
But it don't stop there, because Diddy did the same thing more recently when he went to the Ellen Show in 2009. Ellen asked Diddy at what time his parties usually started. And he said that they started at 9:30, but that his weird other kind of parties happened at midnight.
Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really, that early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
Uh-huh.
Now, Diddy might not have gotten arrested over these interviews particularly, but some fans claim that these are definitely going to be used as evidence and proof that he got some weird things going on behind closed doors. But not the same can be said about A.R.Ab, who snitched on himself multiple times, both online and in interviews, leading to his own arrest. A.R.Ab is a Philly rapper who began growing his career after his partner Cassidy started dropping back-to-back hits in the early 2000s, with his debut album, Split Personality, reaching gold status just a month after release. And Ab wasn't really focused on music and cared more about putting work in the streets, which caused him to get in a lot of trouble with the law. Because around 2009, Ab started the gang Original Block Hustlers, or OBH for short. They started things off quickly gaining territory in North Philly until they got enough money to begin their own label with the same name as the gang. But that didn't slow Ab down, because he ended up getting shot 10 times at a stop sign while cruising through Kensington in September 2010.
10 times? Nah, that's a hit. Anybody that gets shot 10 times, that's a hit out on you. God.
From there, he managed to be invited to do a session with Meek Mill, but missed the opportunity since he was more focused on the streets. But that's not even the dumbest thing he did, because right after he started to get a buzz with his music career, he started self-snitching, letting everybody know the things he and his gang did behind the scenes. Like himself being the mastermind of the drug-selling operation, as well as sending hits to anyone who tried to go against them. Because in one video, Ab let everyone know that anybody that rolled down their block would instantly get smoked.
You come down this block, is nobody gonna make it off block, man. I promise you, you won't make it off this motherfucker, man. On everything I love, you come up on us, man, you're not gonna make it. It's gonna blow your shit clean off, man.
Then in another video, he let everyone know about the kidnappings and robberies that he's done with no hesitation.
13 shots. I don't know what it's for, you know why? Because I kidnapped, I robbed, I killed a lot of shit I did.
But it only gets crazier.
13. I think what bro going through right here, if you survive 13 gunshots, bro, I feel like he was thinking in a way like, I gotta like resent and come back from my sins and say what everything like I did. So he was self-snitching on himself because he felt like I shouldn't be here. Like 13 shots. And I think that's what he was doing. And they like, oh, he was snitching on himself. I don't know. In a way, yeah. He just, I don't know. That's wild.
Like, I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back, and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor, and he got teardrops in his eyes. But that ain't the only time Melly snitched on himself, and it led to him getting arrested. Because one day, a YouTuber who does public interviews saw Melly in the mall and asked Melly, what's a message to the first person that he smashed? But Melly was confused by the question and thought the dude meant the first person he killed and not smashed.
My question for the day is, what is your message to your first buddy?
Tuka, let me get it now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Tuka, OTL, YCL, YW. Oh, God, bro. You said first body.
Hell yeah.
Like, what you mean first body?
But just like Ab, Rollo was a known face in the streets in the city until he ended up behind bars for speaking too much during interviews. Now, Rollo has been a big name in Atlanta's rap scene for quite a few years now, featuring huge artists such as Future in his debut single, Can't Lie, since he wanted to have real talent to kickstart his career. And Future was one of the biggest names at the moment. And later on, he featured Lil Baby on his song, Lil Cali in Pakistan. But everyone knew that Rollo's money didn't come from the rap game, since he was one of the biggest drug dealers in Atlanta. And it's something he hasn't been afraid to share with the public. During an interview with Vlad TV, he went on to talk about his whole criminal...
What's his name? I don't think I ever heard of this dude. I've seen his face, but it
bars for speaking too much during interviews. Now, Rollo has been a big name in Atlanta's rap scene for quite a few years now, featuring huge artists such as Future in his debut single, Can't Lie, since he wanted to have real talent to kickstart his career. And Future was one of the biggest names at the moment. And later on, he featured Lil Baby on his song, Lil Cali in Pakistan. But everyone knew that Rollo's money didn't come from the rap game, since he was one of the biggest drug dealers in Atlanta. And it's something he hasn't been afraid to share with the public. During an interview with Vlad TV, he went on to talk about his whole criminal beginnings, like saying how his father was a kingpin and that he took his position after he passed away.
He was a kingpin. He made a lot of money, but you know, as you get 60, 70 years old, it just ain't no point in hustling like that no more. He was hustling all his life. All his clientele knew me as his son, so it was like it almost chose you, and it just chose me because they were just waiting for me to get some dope to supply them with. So as I grow older, the clientele was already attached to me.
He also mentioned how he...
Why would you say that? Why would you...
went on to become the biggest dealer on his block. I was the biggest drug dealer in the bluff for a long period of time. I had the Bluff and I had Simpson. Like they like two different neighborhoods almost, but they're in the same area. And I was the biggest drug dealer over there, so I had the best quality drugs, and I also had large quantity for a lower price. You know what I'm saying? So I was out beating all my competition around the way.
Later on, he spoke about managing to make over $12 million during his time as a kingpin, but it only ended up being $3 million after all the expenses.
I actually made 12, right? Because I was counting how much money I had made. But I only had like 3. I only jewelry and cars and clubs and clothes, jacket, like if you make $1 million, you're gonna spend probably like $300,000, $400,000 just making it on everyday life. Like even if you taking your girl out to the restaurant, it costs money for the gas. Like so, I just was counting my profits I made.
And Rollo wasn't scared to let the world know about his dirty work, because the craziest thing he talked about during that interview was confessing to the time he shot at rich homie Quan over Quan treating him like he was weak. But he also went on to mention that to him, it wasn't wrong, because that's what he knew all his life.
He leaked that out. I didn't never even confront Rich Homie Quan. He called me, like, bro, why the hell you go on Disney 50 doing all that? I'm like, bro, I just want the world to know how y'all rap. See, y'all ain't realest. Y'all say y'all lives on this music and y'all got diehard fans. And like I wanted to tell the fans in the world, like, this ain't really going on. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't at Nate trying to kill him or nothing that social media like make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? I just want.
Yep. So let me get this straight. You're telling me I don't have to spend.
Bro, is he saying that he shot at rich homie Quan just to say they not living like that? I just shot him just to shoot him, but I ain't want to kill him. What? Yeah, we just shot at the car. I ain't want to hit him. I just killed him. What? That's not sticking in court. That ain't sticking in no court. It don't matter what court you go to.
Like, make it out to be. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to show them, like, he ain't gonna do that to me that he did to other people. I hate when people prey on the weak, because I seen him and other rappers go at people that went about their life and didn't have that going on, and they was able to prey on the weak. The things that I do when I shot people or when I shoot people, or the thing that I did at Rich Homie Quan, I ain't feel like it was a bad thing to do, because that's what we did all our life. So a person that ain't seen that and ain't used to that they'll think it's wrong. But when you raised up, that's all you know. If your mama teach you Spanish and you from America, you only know Spanish.
But that's not the only time he talked about his past during an interview. Because
I got what he meant, but if it boils down to that, that's just
prior, he was interviewed by DJ Smalls
if that's what has to come to. If you was raised speaking Spanish and you in America, don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Talk about it, with him saying that he had been putting work in the streets since he was just 13 years old, since he was selling dope and hitting at people.
See, I had when I was like 13 or 14, I had shot some dudes tried to rob me in the bluff. I was a youngin' on the block, know what I'm saying? I ain't know no better, know what I'm saying? I ain't know that I wasn't supposed to do what I was doing, but now that I look at a 13 and 14-year-old little boy, I be like, that's a child. And I was out there selling dope around the campfire. You know, we used to light the fire to get the mosquitoes away. But them motherfuckers still biting us. I don't know how the hell, who hell came up with the smoke and get the mosquitoes away. But some dudes robbed me and tried to take my bomb, and I had one up there and I shot a couple people. I was getting a 9 for $5,000, and I was making a little money, you know what I'm saying? At that age, you getting $10,000, $15,000, you was the in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where about anywhere else, but I was making $5,000 or $10,000. Some dudes robbed me named Gregory Bailey. He robbed me, and I went back and I shot him, and I shot a couple of his friends. I shot like 4 people.
And that was more than enough evidence to directly incriminate Rollo with multiple crimes.
Of course
and in
it
April
was.
2018, it was reported that he had been arrested by the FBI over charges of leading a criminal organization and for trafficking up to $2 million in marijuana.
Because you was famous, you was just safe.
Is now
I shot
facing
him,
federal
and I shot his
after a
friend. He
raid
was
at his
over a
Southwest
couple of
Atlanta
dope.
apartment.
Then I
Our
went in,
cameras
they
were
shot at
rolling
me,
today
so I
as
shot back
agents
and I
from the
hit him.
FBI
I didn't
and
know
the
I killed him
ATF
like a month
searched
later.
this
I saw,
apartment.
like,
He
you
initially
can't
got an 8-year sentence,
you admitted
but
to
was
all
released
the
after only 5 years, serving 4 years and being credited 1.5 years for good behavior. But stick around, because this next one
what
is
did
being
they-
initially got an 8-year sentence, but was
8
released
years?
after only 5 years, serving 4 years and being credited 1.5 years for good behavior. But stick around, because this next one is definitely one of the craziest times a rapper got arrested over an interview, as it involves one of the biggest cases in rap history, Tupac's murder. For decades, what really happened back in 1996 remained a mystery. But in 2023, Dwayne Davis, also known as Keith D, was arrested for being a passenger in the car that did the drive-by.
What the heck is
Tupac's
Pac
murder. For decades, what really happened back in 1996 remained a mystery. But in 2023, Dwayne Davis, also known as Keith D, was arrested for being a passenger in the car that did the drive-by and for being the shot caller of the whole hit. But Keith didn't want to stay quiet about it and told the whole world what happened in his book, Compton Street Legend, as well as in several interviews right after the book came out. Now, Keith wasn't a rapper, but he had deep ties in the community, being close friends with Suge Knight since they were in high school, and was one of the main investors behind Death Row Records, before falling off with Suge over thinking he was too soft. Back in 2019, Keith sat down with Vlad TV to tell pretty much everything about what happened that day in Vegas, as well as the other people who were involved. According to one of the detectives who worked the case, Keith told them that Diddy offered them $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge since he wanted Death Row out of the picture.
For an amount of money, and they kind of just let it go at that point in time. But of course, Keith D knows in the back of his mind, this is what Puffy wants done. And they all end up out in Las Vegas. Suge's out there, man, I'll give you $1 million, whatever it takes. You know, it's like exaggerated speech. But of course, when we interview Keith D, he's like, yeah, that's what the agreement amount was, $1 million.
Later in the interview, Keith said how they were waiting for Tupac outside the Tyson versus Selden fight. And in past confession recordings, he said how Terrence Brown, aka T Brown, pulled up next to Suge's car, and the guys who were in the backseat rolled down their window.
$1 million? Would y'all catch a body for $1 million, bro? Well, that's 1996 is when Pac died. 1996, $1 million, man.
Before blasting on Tupac as he tried.
Right, 1996, that's when Pac
tried to get a gun to shoot back.
And then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
No, we coming up.
Yeah, you see how you ignored him? He was like, what?
Blasting on Tupac as he tried to get a gun to shoot back.
And then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
No, we coming up.
No, my nigga.
What's the name? What's that, Flamingo? Yeah, I think that's Flamingo. He's coming up Flamingo and got to the light. He's gonna go drink and smoke some weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next?
And we just came, and I ain't gonna go into the details like that.
You said that Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually see a gun?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started shooting at Tupac and Suge.
He also went on to talk with The Art of Dialogue just a few months before his arrest and said that his relationship with Diddy went further than just being paid for the hit, mentioning that he ended up saving Diddy's life on multiple occasions after things went down.
Speaking of Puffy, right, you saving Puffy. Tell me that story about how you saved Puffy and a guy named D-Mac, if I'm not mistaken.
Them dudes came from everywhere. We was in the VIP upstairs too, shooting pool.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of do believe these stories because, you know, the people that be like in them crack, like everybody know like the Eminems, the Snoop Dogs, the 50 Cent, but the people that be around them like daily on the constant, they be like, yeah, we was here at this party, then next month we was here, then the week after that we was here. I'm like, okay, this like often occasions, like they be, so I do believe it too.
I don't know how they got
recall, they showing pictures and stuff. I'm like,
by the security or nothing.
They on that.
They was up there about 30 Damu riders. It just so happened that I knew
some of the stuff is cap. Some of the stuff
Graham,
fabricated, making it seem cool because they got cameras in front of them too.
And Big Chris and Geek. You're like, oh, that's KVD.
Not even cool.
Otherwise, we would have been destroyed up in that mother. They would have broke our back. I ain't gonna lie, we'd have lost that one for sure. But I had me a pool stick. I was gonna defend myself. Yeah, that's one time he could have lost his life.
Now, the only reason Keith was saying all of this was because he was sure he wouldn't get caught, since it had been so many years since the incident happened, and thought he had already gotten away from it. But it goes to show that you're never safe from life catching up with you, especially when you commit one of the most talked about crimes in the history of rap. And Soulja Boy also got into some deep trouble with the law over things he said during an interview, because back in 2014, he faced a felony weapons charge for carrying a loaded firearm in the streets of LA. He was placed under arrest in a San Fernando Valley jail, but walked
Soulja Boy?
crimes in the history of rap. And Soulja Boy also got into some deep trouble with the law over things he said during an interview, because back in 2014, he faced
arrested on a gun charge in
the
Los
felony
Angeles.
weapons charge for carrying a loaded firearm in the streets of LA. He was placed under arrest in a San Fernando Valley jail, but walked away after posting a $35,000 bail. He was placed on probation until further notice. A few years later, in 2019, he shared the details of something that went down in his house with the guys of the Breakfast Club. He told them that a group of 5 armed guys wearing all black broke in his crib in Atlanta while he was in the studio room, and he fired at them, hitting 2 of them.
Tried to kill me before, you know what I'm saying?
So you probably got some PTSD?
Yeah, tried to rob me, I shot them. So like,
we heard about it.
Yeah, how'd you do it, man? That was classic.
We heard about
that
it,
video
baby.
Of you
We heard
explaining
about
that was classic.
No, I got a movie coming out. It's called Soulja Boy. The movie kicked in the door. I looked out the door. I seen like 5 running through my house with ski masks on with AK-47s.
Where were you? You were inside?
I was in the studio room. You know what I'm saying? They kicked in outside though, in the kitchen. So when I looked, they didn't see me. So when I cracked the door open, I seen like 5 in all black with ski masks on with guns. So I just opened up the door and started shooting at all of them.
What kind of gun do you have?
I had a Glock, like a 4.5 Glock pistol. Okay. I started shooting at all of them. The first I missed, he ducked and ran out the house.
Now, it's true that Georgia's Stand Your Ground law allows for a citizen to defend their house against anyone who poses a threat once inside. And Soulja's guns
Is that a true story right there?
were registered, but he was still on probation from his arrest way back in 2014. So when the judge in charge of the case saw what happened, he was immediately arrested again for violating his probation in March 2019 and was sentenced to spend 240 days in jail as a result. And the interviews was also part of the reason, since it went mega viral and the feds paid attention to everything Soulja talked about. And when it comes to rappers snitching on themselves during interviews, we had to talk about Boss Top, a notorious member of O-Block.
Bro, I wonder if he gonna have CK on her. But hey, we gonna do a part 2. I'm gonna get at y'all, man.